Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 1, The Beginning of the End. Fans waited over 3 years for these episodes, and after watching them, completely worth it. Let's go through the biggest reveals, character shifts, and hidden clues that set up the explosive finale of this entire series. Stranger Things. Season 5 is all about one massive question. Which world will survive? Ours or Vecna's? The Duffers spend these 4 episodes setting up the final war. We return to a very different Hawkins. Instead of the suburban nostalgia we remember, the town is now a militarized quarantine zone. Barricades, soldiers, and terrified residents who never fled. If Season 1, Hawkins felt like E.T., Season 5 Hawkins feels like Children of Men. Everyone we know, Joyce, Hopper, the Wheelers, the Sinclairs, Robin, 11, is living under the military's watch while secretly preparing for Vecna's comeback. And even though Vecna hasn't shown himself since Max's near death in Season 4, the group knows he's still out there, waiting. This season does a great job bringing the cast together. Nancy, Steve, Jonathan, and Robin use a remote radio station to coordinate Hopper's scouting missions into the Upside Down. Meanwhile, Mike, Lucas, Will, and Dustin act as the eyes and ears on the ground. But the biggest emotional shift comes from Dustin. He's angry, grieving, and still fighting for Eddie Munson's name to be cleared. Gaten Matarazzo absolutely crushes this storyline, showing us a version of Dustin who's hurting, defensive, and struggling to lead like he used to. This forces Will to step up in new ways, more assertive, more independent, and finally confronting Joyce's overprotectiveness. Will's connection to Vecna also becomes more important than ever. Season 5 brings back the full Hawkins community, Karen Wheeler, Murray, Erica, and more, helping the show feel alive and interconnected again. But the real surprise is Holly Wheeler, Mike, and Nancy's little sister, who becomes a major character for the first time. Even her school bully gets pulled into the story. And in episode 3, directed by Frank Darabont, Holly becomes the center of Vecna's attention, leading to one of the strongest reveals of the season. Bauer's performance as Henry/Vecna is chilling, and his scenes with Holly are some of the most unsettling the show has done. Episode 1, The Crawl, is widely seen as the clunkiest. It dumps a ton of exposition and forces characters into one-note versions of themselves, like Steve and Jonathan's pointless rivalry, and 11 being reduced to a training machine. It's functional, but it's not the Duffers at their best. But Episode 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler, is where everything clicks. A terrifying Demogorgon attack throws the show back into its horror roots and puts several core characters in real danger. The episode also introduces some of the best character pairings, like Will teaming up with Robin, where he finally opens up about his reawakening connection to Vecna and his own identity. Episode 3 brings massive 80s action, upside-down warfare, and the revelation that Holly may be key to Vecna's master plan. And then we reach Episode 4, Sorcerer. This finale is enormous, visually stunning, emotionally brutal, and filled with callbacks to A Wrinkle in Time and 80s action classics. Max returns determined and stronger than ever, protecting Holly and pushing back against Vecna with everything she has. The Volume 1 finale is peak Stranger Things. The Duffers cross-cut between storylines with intense pacing, an upside-down jailbreak, a Demogorgon massacre, and the team racing to survive long enough to uncover Vecna's true plan. It's easily one of the most cinematic sequences in the series, and even more violent than previous seasons. The stakes feel real, and the consequences hit hard. And that wraps our spoiler review of Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. This batch of episodes proves the Duffers still know how to deliver massive stakes, huge action, and emotional payoffs 9 years into the story. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us your favorite moment from Volume 1 in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, in Hawkins, nothing stays buried for long.